It's good to see you again.
So much. I'm so glad to say welcome to today's edition of Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM. Today is the midweek edition of Unity Train on your radio, and we are reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA here in Jesnop, Plateau State, Nigeria. Iji Adamu is my name. You can call me Kobe, and I will be just fine. The Unity Train is your program. It comes your way every weekday, Mondays to Fridays, 8 o'clock, and we never stop until it is 9:30 a.m. every day. And we discuss lots of things that are of great benefits to you. And again, we don't do it without giving you the opportunity to be part of it. And so the last segment of Unity Train every day is actually your moments to join the conversation, and we hear from you what it is that you want us to talk about and the things you want to draw attention to. We give you that opportunity every weekday, Mondays to Friday. And so today being the midweek edition, today happens to be the 11th day in the month of September, the year 2024. Dear listener and viewer, we are also streaming live on Facebook. You can follow us at Unity Radio FM/TV. Just the same you have also for WhatsApp channel. And so do well to stay tuned with us. In the studio this morning, I am honored to have a sports analyst. And so every Wednesday, God's willing, we'll start Unity Train with a segment that has to do with sports. And so I have Oluwafemi Aremu. He is well seated, and we are expecting Sadiq Deyinka Jimo to also join us in terms of sports on this first segment of Unity Train this morning. So I'll just let my sports analyst to say a big good morning, and let's hear what he has to say in terms of sporting activities.
Yes, good morning. It's good to be here this wonderful morning. Of course, the midweek edition, just like he made mention earlier. And of course, this morning, a lot of interesting stories in the world of sport to talk about. Starting from basketball, Nigeria have been in action. That is for the FIBA Under-18 Afro Basketball Tournament. And of course, we also look at the qualifiers that happened yesterday between Super Eagles of Nigeria and of course Rwanda. That one ended in a goalless draw. Of course, we'll talk about that also. And then they are top on the log currently with 4 points. That is for the AFCON qualification, which we talk about on Monday. And then we'll also talk about Austin Eguavon. That is the interim manager. What has happened? Of course, yesterday we saw reports that he has left his role as the interim coach. And then this morning also there are reports that he has come out to debunk that news that he has not yet left his position as the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Also, we'll look at the Falconets who are set to clash with Japan in the round of 16 for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. That's the Women's World Cup. They've made it to the next round, and of course we'll talk about that. And yes, in the international scene, of course, we'll talk about the matches that happened yesterday. We'll give you the results, the scores, results, and fixtures we should be expecting today. Not forgetting that yesterday, Super Eagles were in action. Yes, all these and more. Probably, if there's a lot of time, we'll open the studio line so that we'll hear your take concerning the Super Eagles.
Okay, that's lovely.
Yes.
Femi Aremu. I just caught the other name, which is Olufemi. I prefer go by Femi Aremu. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, dear listener and viewer. Of course, already it's time for sports. You mean so much to us on this very day, and that is why we cannot do without having a full section or segment of Unity Train without you having to know about sporting activities. And in the studio this morning, we're already being joined by one of the sports analysts whose voice you will be hearing in all of our two sports segments in every week. He is by name Sadiq Deyinka Jimo. And so I'll let you say a big good morning to our listener and viewer.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. Good morning to you.
All right.
Also, my friend.
All right. Thank you very much. And so let's go on. Listener, right now, in case you don't hear from me in the next 20 minutes, don't worry. I'll be right behind at the back seat of the train. And just when it is time, I'll come back. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, Sadiq, it's good to have you here this wonderful morning. Yes, quickly, just like I introduced in my intro, I talk about the Super Eagles. That is yesterday they were in action. Of course, we saw them playing out a goalless draw with Rwanda. What some will say it was a decent performance from them, of course, and some will say that they were not the fact that they were unable to get the goal. So it's something we need to talk about. But the talking point is that Austin Eguavoen yesterday, there were reports that he has left his role as the head coach. But this morning, of course, we are seeing reports that he's denying that fact that he's still the head coach of the interim head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But Austin Eguavoen, I don't think his coaching is his problem. I'll keep on saying that. I don't think coaching is his problem, because we've seen in previous matches he was able to deliver. The boys were able to get the job done. But where they seems to lack is converting their chances. But yesterday, Rwanda's goalkeeper was decent. He made some couple of saves, a lot of saves. Yes. So, but what do you have to say about Austin Eguavoen? Is the technical advisor of the Super Eagles, so his role demand him to come into action whenever the Super Eagles are without head coach. I will not buy the conversation that NFF should appoint him as the head coach currently, but I want stability for the national team. I mean, you can in less than a year now, the Super Eagles have been with about 3 coaches with different philosophy. So it tells you that these boys and same players, it tells you that these boys they need to be stable with the pattern. So do you think NFF should still be with Austin Eguavoen? Probably they should not give him the permanent role, but he should just be in charge pending when we take on Libya in our next qualifier, which is in October. For now, there is no cause for alarm, because the Super Eagles will not be in action until October. So, what's your own opinion concerning Austin Eguavoen and the coach, coaching?
He delivered in previous matches, in 2 matches, a win and a draw. At least that's good result for the team.
4 points,
and
yes.
we are still on top of the log. So I feel he should not be given the job, actually, because we need something in a long run. Just as you said, the boys, they've been with several coaches, and that will actually affect their mentality, the philosophy of the game, because every coach has a philosophy that he brings to the game. So I think we need something stable, as you said, something in the long run, something that will last for long. And I'm sure the Super Eagles, with the quality of the boys we have, we are sure to go places with them.
All right, we are definitely, especially you look at the likes of Ademola Lookman, also Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface. You can go on and mention a lot of them. But exactly, we will see what the NFF have in plan concerning that position, the head coach. Of course, as a country like Nigeria, we cannot be going for how many months without head coach. We just hope that NFF will do the needful as fast as possible before the next game, that is in October. But well, we will leave there quickly and talk about the Super Falconets who are set to clash with Japan in the round of 16. That is at the under-20 FIFA's Women's World Cup. Of course, they will be preparing to take on Japan. We saw them when the match is going to be on Friday. That is September 13, and it's going to be at the Estadio Metropolitano the Techno in Bogota, that is Colombia. It's going to be a good one for them, because we saw their impressive performance in group stage, where they were able to defeat Venezuela by 4-0, and of course that is in their last match. They lost their second match, but their first match they were able to defeat Korean Republic. So it's going to be a good one, because you look at Japan on the other hand, they entered the knockout stage with a perfect record. That is, they dominated the group stage with, of course, a 7-0 win against New Zealand, a 4-1 win against Ghana, and of course a 2-0 win against Austria. It's a good one. It tells you that the Japanese side, they are very, very impressive side. About the Super Falconets also, they are not bad. You look at their performance, and their coach Chris Danjuma said that his side is going to be really going up for the 3 points and ensure that they make it to the next round. But for the Super Falconets, it's a good one, I must say, making it to the knockout stage. And do you think when they take on Japan on Friday, do you think they have everything it takes to make it to the next round?
Definitely. If you look at how they're coming from the group stages, right?
Yes.
A win and a draw,
Yes.
4 points at least.
No, two wins.
Two wins.
Yes, two wins from three matches.
6 points.
Yes.
That means the team has quality, and facing Japan is not going to be an easy task, actually. But the coach has given the team confidence, and is also giving us as fans confidence that they're going to deliver. So let's watch out. Friday is just around the corner.
Of course, Friday is just around the corner. I wish the Super Falcon the very best there. And then also let's look at a bit of basketball as Nigeria advances to knockout stage after a 72-61 victory over Uganda. Nigeria's youth men basketball team has continued to make waves in the FIFA Under-18 Afro Basketball Tournament, defeating Uganda 72-61 in their second group games on Tuesday, September 10, 2024. The victory came despite early challenges, including a visa issue caused by the South African embassy, which affected the team's preparations. I recall that in their opening game of the tournament, they secured a hard-fought 70-65 win against Angola. The standout player in the match was Aziz Olaitan Suleiman. Against Uganda, Suleiman once again proved his worth, delivering another standout performance with 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 steals. His efforts helped Nigeria clinch the 11-point victory and advance to the knockout stages of the tournament. While the Nigerian boys continued adjoining, the girls' team were eliminated from the competition after a 64-80 loss to Uganda. The boys, however, remained determined, knowing they still have a lot of work ahead as they aim to qualify for the FIBA Under-19 World Cup next year. The boys are really doing well. That is the Under-18 the Under-18 FIBA Afro Basketball tournament. Leaving there quickly. We will see. I think we will open the studio line now so that we will hear your take concerning Austin Eguavon. Do you think the NFF rather should appoint him as the head coach, or they should just leave him there to still be the interim head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria while they will be in action in October? Or you think we should go for a permanent head coach? The studio line to call is 07032353315, and let's hear your contribution this morning. 07032353315. Yes, just like I said earlier, it's international break, and then I think today ends the window that is for the international break. We'll leave there quickly, and let's look at results of matches that happened yesterday in Europe. Of course, we saw some matches in Europe yesterday where England were in action. They defeated Finland by 2-0. Who else if not Harry Kane? Of course, he was able to brace for himself there. What do you have to say about England and Harry Kane? All right, before we hear your take, let's hear this call out. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think that's a drop call. You can do to call us back 07032353315. Yes, Harry Kane and the English national team with a new head coach, interim head coach as well. But he was able to do on his 100th appearance. All right, let's hear this call out. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. This is Adewumi calling from Boston.
Adewumi, it's good to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you very much. You see, my take is this. Even Gabon winning the first match,
yes,
by ensuring that we won even Benin Republic, I support him to continue with the country. Okay. Let him continue as the head coach. I think let's give a local coach chance to lead the Super Eagles. Because we just have to see some art from even from the players too. To come in time and prepare for matches in order to have a proper teamwork. You understand what we're saying?
Yes, I understand.
So that's the major thing I want to say. Let's just give him a trial. Let's give him a chance to do the thing. Not that NFF now will ask him to go and sit down after a day or a week to the match. Then he will now bring him back again to continue. You understand what we're saying?
Yes, yes.
So you don't want to see them succeed. I strongly believe 4 points out of 6 points is good.
Yes, it's good.
We love that. And we always the Super Eagles win. Even yesterday they tried their possible best just because their keeper was very good.
Yes.
And the keeper tried. And the penalty and the goal that we scored that was cancelled. I see no reason why that goal was cancelled. But why it is still a good that draw is still okay to continue with the AFCON. You understand?
Yes.
So, and I strongly believe we still finish first on top of the table.
Yes.
Thank you and God
Thank you so much, Deomi, for that wonderful contribution. Yes, just like we're talking about England and Hurricane, I think we have another caller. Let's hear his opinion. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm coming from Refi.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Emmanuel. Let's hear your opinion.
Yeah, I think that the NFF should just give the coach a permanent deal because we need a local coach.
All right. Is that all, Emmanuel?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Everyone seems to be behind Austin Eguavon. But leaving there, let's hear your opinion concerning England and their star man, Hurricane.
It has never been a problem for him in the English national team, actually scoring goals, and actually he got an assist at the 57th minute from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the second goal was through Noni Madueke assist. So Hurricane and England, always a very nice story to listen to. He has always delivered day in, day out. So that's not even a point of talk because it's something that is visible to everybody. Yeah. So Hurricane, England, we just need them to maybe clinch a major tournament as usual, as that's what we used to judge them as a team and as a nation. But England and Hurricane is always on point.
All right, let's hear this call out. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yes, this is Mohammed from Nasaraka.
Good to have you, Mohammed.
My question to the president in the house, my professor, and then the sport analyst, Ogarin.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk about what's next. I think Eguavon will be a very good coach if he can be maintained.
Okay.
And secondly, got his experience and his further. But I think it is nemesis of the insult or the, how would I call it, the, help me out. I mean, what he did to Muryar Al'umma because of the way he insulted him. He has forgotten that these people are his father. They are our heroes. So I pray that he recovers and then he gets back. And then that goal that was destroyed was allowed. I think it was a good thing. Let's just develop it for Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Yes, leaving there quickly, let's talk other matches. Yesterday we saw Hungary playing out a goalless draw with Botswana, and of course an entertaining game between Netherlands and Germany. That one ended 2-2. Let's hear this call out. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. You are live.
Yeah, my name is Isaac. I'm calling from Labingo Road.
Good to have you, Isaac, this morning.
Yes, so I think the federal government should give Austin Eguavon a permanent deal as the Super Eagles head coach.
All right, all right.
Yes, because we need a local coach.
True.
Hello?
Yes, is that all, Isaac?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling. Yes, everybody wants a local coach. They are in support of Austin Eguavon. Yes, just like I was saying, we saw entertaining game between Netherlands and Germany. That one ended 2-2. Okay, let's hear this call out again. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I see football is what you make out of it. And there is no magic in it for a coach.
Yes.
It's just to assist Eguavon and make it a power. You can give Eguavon the right you people give to the European people. Because most of these coaches from the Europe, they are also footballers. Worse.
Yes.
So I don't even know the reason why we don't even value our own. Train and more train and leave Eguavon. Let's have our own consistently because it has been a sort of a game that great people come and they go. They come, they go, and they give them a huge amount of money. They go there. We never go here to World Cup. These European people never give us World Cup because they hate us. There is no time a European coach will remain and tell you that you win his blood and he will be happy because they regard us as a black monkey. Please let them give these guys support. If no matter what he did, then you can send him for training train our people, let's manage our things. Thanks and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir.
I think the talk here is not about whether foreign or a local coach. What we're talking about is putting in someone that would have a long-term plan with the team.
The team, yes.
We're not actually in support or against that. So I think that's also a point to note, because all the callers are sounding as if we are citing a foreign coach for the national team. We just need someone that will be there for long, that will build on what is on ground, and then
yes, because you also need to consider the players. Just like I said earlier, in less than a year, we've been with 3 coaches, different philosophy, and same players. So if NFF can appoint a person with a long-time plan in a long run, because you look at 2025, the AFCON is coming, but that is the one that will be happening in Morocco.
Yes,
we need a coach. They need to prepare just next year. So we need to prepare from now in order to achieve something really tangible. Also, World Cup is also fast approaching. We are also there at the qualifiers. We've not make really impressive results in that series. But we hope that anything that NFF are doing, they will definitely consider appointing a coach that will go for a long run. But leaving there, because we don't have much time, let's look at results of games we saw early hours of this morning. That is for the World Cup qualifications in South America. Colombia defeated Argentina, surprisingly. Well, I wouldn't say it's surprisingly. They defeated Argentina 2-1. Chile also lost to Bolivia by 2-1, while Ecuador defeated Peru by 1-0, and Venezuela played out a goalless draw with Uruguay. Yes, that is how.
Paraguay also lost to Brazil.
Yes, early hours of this morning by Paraguay, by 1-0. Yes, that was how that one ended. Well, I think for the African Cup of Nations qualification, Gabon defeated CAR by 2-1 yesterday, and Egypt defeated Botswana by 4-0. A big result for Egypt and Mohamed Salah there. And also Cape Verde defeated Mauritania by 2-0, while Chad lost out to Ivory Coast by 2-0. Yes, I think we are about to round up this segment. But do you have anything to say aside from everything we've said?
What I just feel as supporters of the national team and patriotic Nigerians that we are, we should just support the national team. Come rain, come sunshine.
All right,
it's still our own.
Yes, of course, it's still our own. Yes, sir. I will do this next time on this same program and same station. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. From the back seat of the train, I remain Isiadamo and Kubi, if you like, and I'll be just fine. With Sadiq, Deyinka Jimo, and Oluwafemi Aremu, taking us on sporting activities across the globe. Of course, I want to believe, I never knew that our listeners, really love things that has to do with sports until this morning. And I want to promise our listener and the viewer that every Monday and Wednesday we would have a Sadiq and Aremu come to give us issues as it concerns sports. And so thank you so much. And we call it Trend Sports Waves. That's what it is. And so thank you so much. We'll go on a short break right now. When we come back, the show continues with our regular analysts on other issues. Stay tuned and enjoy it.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It a kill love, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to say welcome back. In case you are just joining us, this is Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA in Jos North Plateau State, Nigeria. Iji Adamu is my name. You can as well call me Kubi, and that will be just fine. Today is the midweek edition of the program and is the 11th day in the month of September, the year 2024. Earlier on, at the first segment of Unity Trend, very unusual. We started with sports. Okay, so Sadiq and Aremu will always be here on Mondays and Wednesdays, so that we would also respect the the desire of our various listeners and followers who always desire to have issues concerning sports. And we have listened to your call, and we're so happy that you even have shown the desire. I mean, you've shown to us that you really love to have this coming your way. So twice every week. Thank you so much, dear listener and viewer. We are streaming live on Facebook. You can already begin to join us at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. And the same, we have it for the WhatsApp channel. In the studio this morning, I am so very humble, and I have one of our regular analysts. Before I introduce him, I would let you know that we'll be discussing the devastating effects of floods in Nigeria. That's the topic of our discussion on this transit segment of Unity Trend this morning. I have in the studio Barrister Paul Zaruma, and he's coming your way with a big good morning. Barrister, sir, good morning.
It could be a beautiful good morning to you. Viewers and listeners, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time and where you are receiving this signal. Thank you for having me once again this morning.
Oh, that's lovely. NLC President Jero opens up on arrest, detentions by DSS reveals details. Right. Bello Toji, terrorism kingpins in Zamfara, one of Nigeria's troubled northwest states, imposed the 30 million naira levy on the residents for their protection against attacks. You can imagine someone who is who is expected, who is said to be the one rendering his uncalled for attacks on people, and now he's saying they would have to pay some certain amount of money before they are allowed to continue their things. But then he said to protect them against being attacked. Oh, that is it. And so, away from just these few headlines, let's just go to our topic of discussion this morning. Professor is so engaged this morning and would not be part of us, the program this morning. There is a program actually that should start later on at 11 or 10 a.m. At his faculty, University of Jos, this morning. So with that, apologies, he will not be on air. Barrister Paul Zaruma is here, so please, let's begin to talk about this flood.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that flood has been ravaging part of the country, both north, south, west, and almost every part of the country. And we just want to discuss its devastating effects on Nigerians, and also call on the attention of the government to, as a matter of urgent national importance, respond to some of this, because Nigerians are in serious dire need of support from the government, not only government, private individuals and other organizations. Nigerians are in a very terrible state. Not fewer than 229 persons have been killed. 300 and so far in Nigeria as a result of floodings all over the country. Then 386,299 persons displaced, and 94,492 houses affected by flood across 29 states in the last 9 months. Data released by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, yesterday showed that floods have had the most impact on the northeast and northwest regions. The data from the agency's National Operations Center has also revealed that Southwest had the lowest number of affected and displaced persons. The Northeast ranked the highest with 364,766 affected persons, 213,871 displaced persons, 82 deaths, 34,187 affected houses, and 82,000 588 affected farmlands. No lives were lost in Akwai, Benue, Ekiti, Enugu, Federal Capital Territory FCT, Gombe, Imo, Kogi, Kwara, Lagos, Ondo, Oyo and Plateau states. States with the most affected farmlands included Bauchi, Taraba, Niger, Jigawa, Sokoto, Kebbi, Adamawa, Zamfara, Kano, Yobe, Enugu, and Borno State. Meanwhile, the people and government of Borno State are facing a humanitarian crisis following the collapse of Alao Dam after being at full capacity for weeks. Consequently, over 200,000 residents have been displaced and critical infrastructure, including the post office and Maiduguri Teaching Hospital damaged. Strategic areas including part of the Shehu of Borno Palace, Maiduguri, Central Market and University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital have been submerged. Other areas badly hit included the GRA, Maiduguri Zoo, College of Nursing, College of Agriculture, and School of Health Technology, among others. At press time, many residents were seen evacuating basic items to areas considered relatively safer, with some youths erecting sandbags to prevent flooding from entering their quarters. Now, it was also reported in some media outlets that the flooding that ravaged the Maiduguri Zoo has flooded a lot of dangerous reptiles like crocodiles and snakes into the streets of Maiduguri, and that further poses danger to the people. And another pathetic aspect of it is that how the flood was able to affect the hospital. The hospital would have been a strategic building that will provide succor for the citizens, but unfortunately the flood also affected the hospital. So you can see that even those people who are in dire need of medical attention may also be finding it very difficult, and that informs the reason why Nigerians are saying that reporters are saying that Maiduguri is in serious humanitarian crisis. Maiduguri have not even fully recovered from the effect of the insurgency, and then this flood is now really coming in. And in Kaduna State also, there is also a devastating flood that has taken over Kafanchan and surrounding villages in Jama'a local government area, LGA, of Kaduna State. It has displaced over 1,000 residents and claiming the lives of 2 children. The flood, which hit part of Kafanchan town, Jagindi, Adungu, Aso, and Badewot, has also destroyed farmland with crops worth millions of naira. These crops have been washed away. According to Mrs. Christy Usman, the vice chairman of Jama'a LGA, the economy of Jama'a LGA have been seriously affected as a result of that flood, and you can see that it has also claimed the lives of 2 innocent little children. If you also recall that about a month ago, the flooding has also swept away some innocent 6 children that has gone out to go and write their junior work in the same Kaduna State. It was reported that in that village they don't even have a bridge. So some of these flood effects, like the Alao Dam of Maiduguri, I think some of the flooding from are avoidable.
How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run, so you look away.
Of Governor Ubasani for setting up a committee headed by the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Kaduna State to see the devastating effect of the flood. As long as Kaduna State is concerned now is for them to focus on how to cushion the effect of the flood on the citizenry, particularly. That's the focus of that committee for now. Okay. They are not even talking about the cause of the flood yet. They want to save the lives of people and cushion the effects of the flood on people before they're talking about the cause of the flood will come on later on. But for Maiduguri, it is already clear that the cause of the flood is even known even before the flood took over the town. Okay, Barrister, you see, talking about the rising water levels in our rivers right now. Just day before yesterday, I was walking. I was coming to the studio on Monday, actually. I was coming back to the studio later in the, by noontime. You know, my attention was caught to the water, the level I saw, the bridge you crossed before coming to the studio. I had to stop by and then just get to look, because for us, there wasn't such a rain for us in Plateau State to expect such a rising water level. So, it became something like of a great concern, because some of us, the only way we can ascertain that the river is not one that you have children to get anywhere close around is when there is rain or not rains, right? So, but there could be rain far away from even Plateau State. So that river, there's this particular river actually that streams all the way to Bauchi from us, from Settler Market here. That stream, you call it stream or river, whatever it is, that it passed through. There's this one that passed through Apata. From Apata, it goes all the way to Bauchi. So you see, now, if Bauchi people, the only way they can ascertain whether we can use the river, we can cross through that river, it's if there is rain in Bauchi. But if there should be rain in Plateau State, you know definitely that the waters will wash all through to that same river and flow all the way to Bauchi, even if there is no rain in Bauchi at that particular point in time. And so some of us, I'm bringing this up because of children being victims of this. It's because parents will always send them to school. And you know, particularly, there are certain rivers children will have to cross to be able to go to school. And you would say, as a parent, you say, there hasn't been rain for 2 days, so no need to have any fears that our children might end up being victims of such a disaster. But then, either there is rain or not in the states, rivers flow across countries, right? So please, let's all be mindful of that. Barrister, over to you. Yes, you just mentioned Bauchi. Bauchi also have their own toll. In Bauchi, flood kills 24 people and displaces 122,330 people. So you can see the devastating effect of some of this flood. And the news is here and there. And you know, it may interest you to know, could be that these are just the incidences that are reported. There are other incidences that are not reported, because I'm surprised they said that no person was lost for the past 9 months in Plateau State as a result of flood. Yes, I think that is not actually true. Even recently around Rousseau area, they saw some dead bodies flooding. They had to contact community leaders in Shagari Corner to find out a way of identifying those dead bodies. So, and then as at last, police were doing their investigation. They are doing a kind of inquest, a kind of coroner inquest to find out if actually those dead bodies were flooded. But it actually, preliminary findings reveal that they are highly likely to be victims of flooding. So these are some of our issues, incidences that are not reported. But actually, if people get actual reports, these figures will be even more. the official figure is, I would say, is an understatement. So you can see that these things are quite unfortunate. That like particularly those areas that are avoidable, and you can see some of these rivers and dams, they have their economic advantage. I was in Kiri Dams in Adamawa State, close to Guyuk local government. You know, I was impressed to learn that the source of that Kiri Dam is here from Plateau State, particularly Shirye Hills. And then, you know, they told me so many things about the Kiri Dam. It is the Kiri Dam that used to power the Dadinkowa Dam in Gombe State, and you know the Dadinkowa Dam in Gombe State is generating electricity, you know, effectively. And then, you know, I also discover the Kiri Dam. They used to supply water to Dangote sugarcane, and then they told me for every metric ton of water they provide, they make a lot of money. And in most cases, in fact, the budget, what the Kiri Dam used to generate for Plateau State is running, sorry, I said Plateau State, Nigeria is running into billions. So you can see that some of these dams have economic advantages, you know, but you know, mostly it is underutilized and they're not tapped as it's supposed to be. So, you know, you can see that. In fact, I was even tipping my tour guide when I went to Kiri Dam. I said, why can't you give Plateau State a portion of these billions you are generating from Kiri Dam, since the source is from here in Plateau State? He said,
you mean the source of that Kiri Dam is actually our own Shirye Hills?
Yes, so at least, yes, the source of Kiri Dam is Shirye Hills here from Plateau State. So, and you know, I told him, I said, Plateau State should also enjoy a share from these billions you are making. You know, he said, I can't remember the exact figure, but my tour guide told us that, you know, that you know, for each metric ton they get a lot of money. I never knew that you can generate money from a dam like that. And particularly during dry season, that they used to weekly they used to provide a lot of metric tons of water to Dangote sugarcane in Adamawa. He showed us the water channel, and I was really impressed. He said apart from Dangote Dam, there are other farms also within Adamawa State that used to tap water from Kiri Dam, and it has become a major source of revenue for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So this is quite interesting. And then, you know, Maiduguri has been a home of, you know, in northern Nigeria, that if you talk about seafood, you talk about Maiduguri, particularly the fish, their fish from Maiduguri is wonderful and essential. So
of course, who else is expected to say the fish in Maiduguri is wonderful other than you?
Yeah, of course, my wife is from Maiduguri, so I know that the delicacies in Maiduguri. So I sympathize with the governor of Maiduguri. I believe that the governor of Maiduguri is still hibernating from the shock, because the flooding also, it was reported, affected parts of the government house in Maiduguri. Some people, some other reporters say the government house was submerged, but we have not verified from independent sources if at all the government house was submerged. But as long as Maiduguri is concerned, they are still hibernating from the shock. They have not taken decision like Kaduna State have already taken. So we are calling on spirited Nigeria government agency, particularly Federal Relief Material Agency, to look into what is happening in those states we just mentioned that are affected. There are other states that they are affected that we have not even also mentioned.
Barrister, very quickly, because we have children resuming schools, and of course they will be going to school. Some of those children don't have the honor, the company of adults to take them up all the way from home to schools. And most of them would have to cross one river or the other. And here we're having the issues of natural disaster that we cannot really avoid. It's coming true, but then how can we cut down or not even be able to witness anything, having children running into waters just because there is no rain and you feel your child is safe to go and cross that river? What call do you have for parents to be very, very aware? And those people whom are of the riverine areas and having their structures and buildings around waterways and so.
You know, we are calling on the parents to be watchful over their children, particularly now that school is resuming. I don't think that, I think as a responsible parent, we know that life is hard, we know that things are difficult, so it makes some parents to release their children to the street and then try to go hustling to find what they will provide for the children in the next hours. Be that as it may, we should make sure that the life of the children is equally very important, just as the hustling that we are embarking on. So as school resumes, particularly those parents that are living in riverine areas, you should make sure you monitor the movement of your children. If you are busy, you should find either a relation, a trusted relation, or an adult you should both parents should put their heads together and find a way of guiding these children through schools. If perhaps those 6 children in Kaduna, if an adult were to be there, he would have guided them appropriately because of experience. They thought it's going to be a usual game of them swimming across the river, but unfortunately, because they actually swam across the river to go and write their junior work, after writing it, they were coming back, and then the river has risen to a dangerous level, and unfortunately they were naive and they just dived into it, think it's going to be business as usual, and it cut short their innocent lives. So these kind of things, if an adult were to be there, some of these things would be avoidable. And we are also calling on government. There are some of these rivers, the construction of the bridges are not really very big bridges. Some of them, even a local government chairman can construct some of the bridges. Like the Rusova bridge I mentioned earlier. There was this Pastor Ali Okemba who started constructing that bridge, a private person. He started constructing that bridge. Unfortunately, he died in a mysterious circumstances, but since then the project has not continued. So if a private individual can take up such kind of thing, yes, we are calling private individuals to come in and assist. I remember there was one around Utown that was constructed by Alhaji Sadiq Plaza. We are celebrating such people. That bridge has been there, and then vehicles have been enjoying that bridge. Individuals have been also been enjoying that bridge. Yes,
the bridge too.
So if we have people like Sadiq Plaza that will come in and say, okay, let's assist, let's come up, and then government should also wake up to its responsibilities. These things are very doable. These things are achievable. Even though it has been reported by the government, I listened to the interview by Governor Mutfang. He says some of this construction work have stopped because of the weather condition, particularly the rainy season. That immediately after the rainy season, he's going to continue with some of this project. So we are calling upon the governor as to keep to his word, particularly that he promised Nigerians in that interview. The interview, I think, was monitored in reading. I listened to the interview from the beginning to the end. I was really impressed, and I really give kudos to the governor for a kind of being transparent and then demonstrating willingness to make the life of Platonians better. I will also comment that he started well. He should keep the tempo. He should maintain the momentum and try to make sure that Plateau people benefit from the dividend of democracy.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister. And it's time for us to now go for another commercial break. And when we come back, dear listener and viewer, it's going to be time for you to join the conversation. So I plead that you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your
Unity? Unity TV.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Attention, it starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill love, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
So much. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us on Unity 93.3 FM. This is Unity Trend on your radio. Unity Trend, it's your program. It comes your way every weekday, Mondays to Fridays. It's 7:30. We start with the preparatory segment, which we call City Report. And just once it is 8 a.m., we start the full-fledged program, Unity Trend, and never stop until it is 9:30. We have 3 segments to Unity Trend itself. Yes, the first 30 minutes for review. The second is for, we call it transit, for topical issues discussed in-depthly. And then the last 30 minutes, it's where our viewer and our listener gets to be a part of the conversation. We respect your ideas, we respect your opinion, we respect your ideology, and so please do well to be part of it even right now, because it's your time. Not only do you join, but you take lead actually on this very last segment of the program, Unity Train on your radio. We are streaming live on Facebook, so you can connect with us at Unity Radio FM/TV Jaws, and the same you have it for the WhatsApp channel. So please be with us, and you will not regret doing that. I'll be giving you the studio line is 070-3235-3315. The studio line again, 070-3235-3315. And for text messages, in case you want to start drafting and then send before we get out of the studio, is 0808-478-9999. Thank you so much. In the studio, it has been the barrister Paul Zarumacho's best legal practitioner. He loves it when it comes to talking about the issues of women and children. He can do everything possible within a legal, something that is good, of course, to make sure that justice is served. Thank you so much. And now it's time for you to actually start calling in. If you call, just tell me your name and location. In 1 minute, let's have your submission. Just anything at all. But the discussion this morning, how I wish it will dominate around how to be able to survive with the issue of natural disasters, particularly flood. Okay, Professor Povena Etsbamayi, I know you are listening, if not for anything. Today is the third of taking an induction ceremony of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Jos, and the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. Okay, being 11 September 2024, by 10 a.m. actually the event is happening. It's going to take place at the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine Auditorium, Naraguta Campus, Unijos. So, Prof is backed with lots of activities, especially for today, being the Dean, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Jos. So, as soon as he gets done with that, he will join us for the subsequent editions of Unity Trend. So, let's just begin. 070-3235-3315. If you call, just tell me your name and location. In 1 minute, let's have your submission. We've been talking about flooding. Okay, so for us, we have rivers. Our children will have to cross one river or the other to be able to go to school. Not only children, you also probably have to cross rivers, to go to your place of work for your usual day-to-day activities. So, you should be aware that we are likely to face rising water level. Even if you don't have rains in the states, you could have rain from other neighboring states, and it will increase the level of waters that we have in our rivers. And so we have to be very, very careful not to scare children. Barrister is in the studio, and I would love the conversations to be that talking about children happens to fall victim of the flood. You see, they were faced between if they would go back because of the water level. Of course, their parents will not forgive them, probably. And so for them, also with the desire to also, write that, WAEC, it became, they were in a fixed position. So they wanted probably to just be able to see if they can maneuver and be able to cross these rivers and waters, and so be able to write their WAEC. Because if they should go back, it will not be easy on them.
And perhaps the exam will not be rescheduled.
Again, it will not be rescheduled.
And their desire to pass to the next level. And you see, this topic directly affects me as an activist with special bias in the protection of the rights of women and children, particularly because they are the most vulnerable in the society. Unfortunately, some of these children are being raised by single mothers, and some of them are orphans, so you can see how the level of exposure they are facing. Recently, a case was brought to my office just last week after I left the studio of a girl who lost both her father and her mother, and then she is staying with an uncle, and the uncle threw her out of the house in the dead of the night on the allegation that she is a witch. And unfortunately, if you look at her body, she has some devastating wounds that clearly show that she has been abused physically. I have taken up the matter. We are working on giving her scholarship from secondary school to university.
Barrister, I'm sorry, I need to cut you here because this is. I was somewhere within Just North, particularly around Alama Private School. Yes. A minor was crying. A child was crying seriously. That I had to ask, what is it? What is happening? Because I don't see it as something to do to a child. To have him or her cry this way, it was not possible. And then the neighbors of this particular woman were saying, this is how she used to beat this child. The child was crying, and then the child was being beaten again and again and saying, don't cry. How would you beat me and I'm crying? You're saying, don't cry. You beat me for crying, you beat me not to cry again.
Frankly, such issues should be reported. You know, we have a responsible commissioner of women in Plateau State, and then we also have a responsible government. Particularly, I will give kudos to the Attorney General. He has introduced a lot of policies in the Ministry of Justice. Some of the policies are not really actually introduced by him. They were there, but they have been observing abeyance. But he has come up with initiative to implement those policies, and which make the lawyers working in the Ministry of Justice passing good comments about him. So here in this platform, we don't only criticize when people are doing the needful. We tell
yes, we appreciate
like the issue of this young girl I told you, as we speak now, she is staying with the ward head at Shirye district. We are giving some of these details so that people will understand that these things are real. People are undergoing through a lot of such things. But I tell you, you know, there were times we were working with FIDA. We still work with FIDA hand to hand, particularly when Izang was the leader of FIDA, the Simi Drunkard. We work with FIDA to do a lot of things to rescue children from certain circumstances.
So it's a call now.
And make sure there are other organizations. So we are calling on neighbors. And even police, they have a department that take care of such kind of abuses. Once you report such issues to the police, I tell you, the police will do the needful.
So if you happen to see, to witness firsthand, any child being...
When you see those children being beaten every day by the child, you also have the responsibility to report to the authority. And the authority will do the needful. You cannot sit down as a responsible neighbor. We should be our neighbors' keepers. Those children are vulnerable. If their guardian or parent, or as the case may be, or even a stepmother cannot protect those children, I think we the neighbors should stand up and protect them. In most cases, neighbors are afraid to report because people don't want to take responsibility. You know, somebody will say, if I must report maybe in the Ministry of Women Affairs, I will have to pay the transport.
Yes.
You know, how much is the transport compared to...
But Barrister, is it that do you have to write your name when you go to report, either to the police or any of these relevant authorities to deal with these issues? Do you have to write your name? Because we have a culture. Some people just want to be a whistleblower, not be revealed in the eyes of the person who...
It is also unfortunate, not only related to cases of abuse, that our security agency, particularly the police, they have a poor culture of keeping the secrecy of their informants. They have a terrible culture of that, you know. But in advanced countries, in fact, even if the informant is going to testify in court, at times he testifies on a max. He can also testify in the judge's chamber. So you understand, he will be protected. There are different ways. Even in our legal regime, the present legal regime, it has a protection for witnesses who doesn't want to be exposed for certain things.
Just like
so
for us journalists.
We should take up responsibility. And I'm also calling on security agencies. And that's why you see we keep singing, if you see something, say something. People see something, they don't want to say something. And then again,
people want to say something, but they're afraid to say it.
Yes, we found ourselves in a situation where how do I put it? You see a situation where people report. Like one of the villages that was recently attacked in Sokoto,
yes, exactly.
It was reported that they gave security agency information about the activities of bandits, and the security gave the bandit a bloody nose, and in reaction, the bandit came and wiped that.
So you can imagine,
raped women and then do a lot of things. So you can see how did the bandit got to know that it was actually these people that gave the report. These are some of the things that really, honestly, our security agency should be trained for. Not only the police force, all our security agencies should be trained for. And I keep on showering praises on the NDLEA. They have been doing wonderfully well in that. NDLEA will come, pick you up, they will never expose their informant. And that is why they have the proficiency and they have the reputation of high-profile arrest. They don't disclose their informant. In fact, in some cases, if they don't even need the informant to testify in court, they will just tell you, I've given the information. In their investigation, it will cover up those areas of those people that will go and testify, which will not necessarily warrant the invitation of the informant. And at least in most cases, even as an informant, it doesn't really necessarily mean that you must testify, except in extreme cases like rape, like armed robbery. So such cases, informant, because it is most the evidence that is required is a direct kind of evidence.
Okay.
But in cases of drug-related offenses, you don't really necessarily need the informant.
Let's hear what our caller has to say. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kuzi.
Thank you for calling.
I'm Barrister Zaruma.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
I continue to bless you for your good work.
Thank you, amen.
Yes, I think we're calling from both.
You have a minute, Adomi. Thank you for calling.
I think this morning is on this issue of flood. Just as you have said earlier, if you see what happened in Medicine, you see even dangerous animals like crocodile and snake taking over the affected area. Kudos to the president for even sending the vice president. If I even see the vice president when I saw it yesterday, I saw him wading in the water, going to Shehu Palace. You understand? This is one of the things I will be complaining about. Even Naimat have predicted flood will come. So why would we be more proactive and reactive? You understand? This is one of the things we must put in place. And on the other hand, in this issue of flood on the plateau, you see, sometimes parents must be more responsible for their children. If you're going to Kolingada area, coming out 6 children looking, I don't know, maybe it's cars they're looking for in that AS Mohammed Street, another rivers. You see them in the water. You know, some of them will be watching as early as 6, 7 o'clock. You understand?
Yes.
So this is one of the things that parents must be responsible, and if your child must watch, must they now be there to wear their clothes, let them fetch water and take in. You understand?
All right.
And those that are going to school too, I think parents must go do more, and even school too must continue to educate children even while they are in school. Let them to be careful with the around areas.
Okay.
And people living around flooded will also be more proactive. Don't wait until the government come or until something occurs before you take action.
Okay.
If you need to clean your drainage, and thank kudos to the Governor Musa for coming and being proactive on the plateau. Imagine what happened around Bukiri area. If not for the proactiveness of the government, what would we have been doing? So we will never be victim of bad circumstances. I will continue to condole and sympathize the people that have lost one or two things in Medicine.
All right.
Thank you, and God continue to bless you.
Thank you so much for calling Mr. Deomi, a regular caller, a contributor there. He would contribute in virtually all of the programs on this platform. We truly appreciate you and every other person. And 070-3235-3315. And sometimes too, while I was there to cover the reports concerning Sabonlai Rafimpa pedestrian bridge that got broken for over 5 years now, I saw children swimming. The water, first of all, is not safe for anyone to want to swim in. And children were swimming in that very water. So you can imagine. And now with the high, the level of, water level in our rivers, you don't necessarily to have rains in your state before you expect that. So you can imagine. So children are there. And sometimes, barrister, you send children to school. they just corner from there, not wanting to go to school, and then just want to have themselves, enjoying themselves in some rivers, swimming.
Yes. These are some of the points that Mr. Adeomi raised. As parents, we have to check on our children, and at times that's why I always watch to open days. And unfortunately, most government schools own government school doesn't operate open day. I cannot remember throughout my days in primary school. I cannot remember ever heard about anything called open day. So, and then I've also not come across any information that government schools have started doing open day. Open day should be a day that parents should go and check the register of the children if actually they have been consistent in school, because in most cases you will send your children to school, friends will influence them to go to some of these rivers or ponds to go and swim. They are hustling to bring something to the table. You will just receive a sad news that something negative, God forbid, has happened to your children. These kind of things are avoidable. As parents, we have to really come up, and then you have to also communicate with our children. Communication is very important. Yes. Our heart is still heavy with what happened recently in the Busabuji, the collapse, the school collapse that led to the death of the many children. So many parents, while wailing over the unfortunate incident, stated that their children told them that the school was vibrating, and this is not